Hello and welcome to Impact Code with Alex Okyere. We'll move to the next stage. So I've talked about financial dependence, which is the first phase, first stage. Then financial awareness, which is, becoming aware of your position, understanding personal finance management, and how you'll be able to move away from dependence. But the third stage now is financial stability. So at this point, you're beginning to gain some stability. This is the stage where there is some good balance between your income and your expenses. This stage is critical, is crucial for building solid foundation for the future. So it's all about income and expenditure at this stage. So you need to measure or determine your income sources, determine your expenditure, and then this stage is where you grow to the extent that your income is able to cover your expenses. So you are stable. You are not so much dependent on other people. You have income enough to cover your expenses. You have stability. You have balance. So this is the financial stability stage. So you can then understand that to grow into financial stability, you need to grow your income. You need to manage your expenses such that your income is able to cover your expenses. So I'm going to take you through several different strategies for growing your income, which is essentially the key thing, right? You need to have your income grow to the extent that it can cover your expenditure, and then you are in the financial stability phase of your financial health. So the first thing I want to deal with is your skills and education. It is your skill and education that you can deploy to bring you income. So learn in-demand skills through free or low-cost platforms like Coursera, Udemy, obtain relevant certification to enhance your career. For instance, basic graphic design skills can lead to freelance opportunities. So learn those in-demand skills, and mostly those are in tech, digital marketing, design, sales, etc. Right? They are free, low-cost platforms where you can learn this: Coursera, YouTube, Udemy, LinkedIn Learning. Most of these are free, and you can go there and learn a skill. So essentially, what I'm saying is that it is what you have that will bring you the income you're looking for, right? So if you don't have the necessary skills to earn at a level that can cover your expenditure, then you need to go back to yourself and learn. In the Bible, it is said that when the axe is dull, much strength is required, but skill will bring success, right? So you need to have the necessary skills. So, like I mentioned in the previous episodes, you need to determine, or you need to have an objective. Where do you want to be? Maybe I want to earn, say, 10,000 Ghana cedis in a month. That's my objective. I think when I get there, it will be able to cover my expenditure. Then you need to determine the skills that you need to apply, to employ, to bring that income so that you can get to financial independence or financial stability. Okay, so the next item, if you're employed, if you're in formal employment, you can also ask for a raise or promotion, but that is dependent on your performance. So you need to perform well, you need to earn it. And when you are in a position where you're performing and you're delivering, you can prepare a case showing your achievements and what you've done to request for a salary review to improve your income. I must say that in this, the timing and approach is very important. You must be very professional and show how you add value to the organization to warrant that review, that increase. The other thing you can also do is to take on freelance or part-time work. Again, we're talking about increasing your income, right? So use your skills for gigs outside your regular job. Don't just go and, be sleeping. Outside your regular job, if you have skills that you can employ to do other gigs and other work outside your regular work, employ that, and that will bring you the additional income you're looking for. There are a lot of platforms, freelancer, local Facebook and WhatsApp groups where people, use their part time to get some additional income. So take on additional work, take on freelance or part time work, and that can bring you additional income. The next thing to look at is start a side hustle or a micro business. But the caution here is that do not let it affect your main hustle, right? Because you're going for more income. You want more income. So you cannot jeopardize your main hustle, which is now bringing you the income that you want, right? So sell products in the office or some services in your community. Sell some clothing. Sell some food, phone accessories that people want. Start some low cost or low capital ideas in your locality, in your office. Laundry services, mobile phone appliance repairs, home tutoring. Start some side hustle. It is said that employment alone, mostly will not take you to the kind of financial freedom you're looking for. So start something. Start some side hustle or micro business, but don't let it affect your main hustle. That should bring you some income. The other thing is to monetize a hobby or a passion. If you have a hobby or a passion, you can monetize it. Some people are very good in photography. Some people can bake very well. Some people can play musical instruments. And nowadays, playing in church and collecting money is very topical. But monetize a hobby that you have, a passion that you have. If you can play the instrument, you could teach people in your area, the people around where you stay. Set keyboard sessions. Teach people how to play the keyboard if you can play the keyboard. But use your hobby or your passion to earn money, monetize it. The other thing is invest wisely, right? As you improve your income, you expect to invest that to bring you more income, right? So once you're saving regularly, consider things like mutual funds, treasury bills, stocks, real estate, which is more of the long term. You need to start small, seek advice, and avoid scams. There are a lot of scammers in the system now. Start small, seek advice, and avoid scams. Use the internet to your advantage. Start a YouTube channel like I'm starting now. Blog, podcast. Once it grows, you can earn through ads or sponsorships. So start something. Use the internet to your advantage. Affiliate marketing. Promote products and commissions. You can create or you can sell on online stores like Jumia, Tonaton, social media platforms, etc. We've talked about income, and like I mentioned, financial stability is the stage where your income can meet your expenditure and you're stable, you're balanced. So we've talked about income. Then let's now talk a bit about how to manage your personal expenditure so that your income can cover that. First, you have to track your expenses. Track every expense. Log all your expenses. There are various apps that you can use. You can even use simple Excel, like I showed you in the previous episodes. Have simple Excel that can track your expenditure, categorize them into the various expense handles, needs, wants, and extras, right? So that you can understand what is necessary and what's just a want and what is just an extra. Create a monthly budget, right? There is this famous 50, 30, 20 rule, which I'll take you through in detail in subsequent episodes. But you need to have a monthly budget that mimics the 50, 30, 20 rule. 50% for your needs, 30% for your wants, and 20% should go into savings. You need to be realistic and flexible about it. Then cut non-essential spending. I mean, we're talking about managing your expenditure such that your income can cover it so that you're financially stable. You are in a balanced situation. So cut non-essential spending. Yeah, if there are subscriptions that you're not using, pause them and stop. Limit takeout and impulse shopping. Reduce spending on alcohol and tobacco. Those can be very expensive and non-essential. The other thing is also to shop smarter. Compare prices before buying. Don't just go into a shop, pick items, and go. Compare prices because sometimes you can get cheaper deals when you compare prices from shop to shop, and that will help you to manage your expenses. Also, buy in bulk when possible. When you buy in bulk, that helps you to get discounts and you can reduce your expenditure. Choose generic over name brands, right? Um, if you're somebody that likes brands over generic items, you may have to pay more, right? So when you're in a situation where you're moving away from financial dependency, you need to choose generic items over very expensive name brands, right? Use your discounts wisely, and that's also linked to buying in bulk, right? As you buy in bulk, you can get some discounts, and that can reduce your expenditure. Reduce your utility bills. Turn off the lights, devices when they are not in use. Use energy efficient appliances. Fix water leakages in your house. So once you're outside, water is not leaking and you have to pay more for your water bills. Reduce wastage in general if you want to manage your expenses and get them within your income. You also have to avoid unnecessary debt. Don't borrow for once. Like I mentioned, borrowing can be good if you use it for the right thing that brings you returns. But don't borrow money for once. Don't borrow to travel if you don't have the money. Avoid high interest short-term loans. Pay off your existing debts strategically. So avoid unnecessary debt. Use spending limits. Set daily, weekly cash limits and stay within them. Discipline is very important in this journey of financial freedom. You need to set daily, weekly limits based on your income and say, okay, this week I don't go beyond a certain amount, and be disciplined enough to stay in that limit. It's called the envelope method of budget. Put the money in the envelope, and that's what it's for the expenditure, and you don't go beyond that. Avoid mobile money impulse use, right? So if you have a lot of money on your mobile money account and it's with your phone that you're always on, it can result in impulse buying because it's very easy. Anywhere you are, you can pay with your mobile money. And so it's easy. When you see something, it's not a need, it's a want, but because the money is on your mobile phone and it's easy for you to access it, you tend to use it, and that can increase your expenditure. Save on your transport and food. Sometimes you have to use public transport if you don't have the means to take a more expensive option, right? Walk where possible. If it's possible to walk for some distance to catch a public transport, do that. I mean, you're on your way from dependence to independence. And on that way, you'd have to sacrifice some things. You would have to be disciplined. Cook at home, plan meals, reduce food wastage, right? And as you do all these things, review monthly, reflect on what worked, what didn't, adjust your budget and habits, and then celebrate small wins. As you're able to stay within your daily, weekly limits, yeah, celebrate it. But don't end there, right? Go on and ensure that your income is able to cover your expenditure. The other thing I want to talk about here briefly, which is something that we'll deal with also in a bit more in detail in subsequent episodes, is managing your debt effectively. Like I mentioned, Debt is not bad in itself. It depends on what you use it for. You need to prioritize your repayments. Effective debt management starts with prioritizing your repayments to reduce your overall debt burden over time. When you receive some bulk money in the office, like bonuses, if you don't have an investment that can yield more returns than the interest on the debt, use it to pay the debt rather, right? So you need to prioritize your repayments. Minimize high interest debt. I mean, in this country, there are several financial institutions where they charge interest daily, monthly, and it can be so expensive. All right. If you go and get yourself into such high interest debt, it can come back and haunt you. You will find out that all your income will go into servicing that debt. Understanding the types of debt is also very important. You need to recognize the different types of debt, and that will aid in developing effective payment strategies, which is tailored to your needs.